Almighty God. And there is a process through which each Catholic is given the chance, with the presence of another priest, to take the last confession, or at least the acknowledgement of the existence of Almighty God. Now, of course, for somebody like John Paul II, who is himself, by one of his titles, the Vicar of Christ, for the priest selected to do that, possibly the Cardinal Camerlengo, who is the Chamberlain of the papal household, this is a particularly special time. Now, we've no idea whether those rumours have been confirmed yet, but it would be a perfectly natural thing at a time of significant illness or prior to death that any person as significant as the Pope, or any Catholic in general, would be given the chance of the last rites.
Alistair, would it be right to say that that could be administered any number of times? Correct,
yes, it can. I mean, at no point are you beyond receiving that opportunity of the last rites. I mean, the last rites are administered very often by priests who arrive at awful scenes of car crashes or something like that. You know, it is delivered as a means through which the soul can have help at that point, is what is believed by Roman Catholics. Now, you know, at any point a recovery can take place. So it wouldn't in itself be obviously a final point beyond which it wouldn't be given again. Now, we hear that he's being kept in the Vatican. There are enormous resources to look after him there, although the Gemelli Hospital will be much, much better. But if he is as bad as we're being told, then he will still have tremendous support there. The nuns who've looked after him all his life will be making it possible for the doctors to protect him and care for him in his private rooms in the Archiepiscopal Papal Palace.
Yes, he's been dubbed the great communicator, Alistair. You've met him before. What did you make of him?
I think there's a tremendous sense of being in the presence of a great and influential person who had, in my memory, a great sense of being able to reach out just with a smile. He was very, very old when I met him. It was only a couple of years ago, and he was extremely unwell at that particular time, and yet he had put on his full papal garb in order to receive an ambassador, and I was present in order to witness the event, and he received me and other people who were there as well. And he spoke to each and every one of us, looking us in the eye and speaking to us in our own language, and extending a sort of sense of calm and joy, I think, even though for many people who were there, this was not an environment that they were naturally comfortable in.
We were hearing from Vatican officials earlier that were interviewed by the Reuters news agency. Alistair, they were talking about, this was several hours ago, they were increasingly pessimistic about the Pope making a full recovery from his current illness. That must be incredibly frustrating for those surrounding the Pope right now.
I think it's been the most agonising period for any Roman Catholic or anyone who cares for the dignity of an elderly man who struggles to carry on a public burden. And I think watching the Pope over the last few months, it has been admirable to see the dignity with which he has carried old age, something that each and every one of us will face in due course, and the magnificence with which he has been able not only to hold his dignity, but also, as we have been informed, to keep a steady hand on the tiller of the Church. Now, we know that the Curia, which is the government of the Vatican, has obviously been doing the work for him, but his mind has remained much more sharp than his body has been able to support. And therefore, whilst those around him will be wanting to perhaps find some solution to the situation they're in now, and God in his own way and life and medicine will make that happen. Yes, I think that they have managed to keep the Church going, but it's a difficult phase for them.
Alistair Bruce, for now, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, these are live pictures from the Vatican City where the Pope is being cared for by physicians. We know that he's in quite a severe condition tonight. He's got a urinary infection and a very high fever caused by that infection. The Gemelli Hospital said that they have not made any plans for him to be brought there, though we do know that he is in a particularly bad way. Of course, he's 84 years old now. We'll have the latest on that in just a few minutes.
Yes, we'll update you throughout.
Something is lurking deep in the airwaves.
What kind are they?
Big ones.
The bite radius about a yard across.
Smile, you son of a...
just when you thought it was safe to channel surf.
I felt he had swallowed me.
If you panic, you're dead.
It's shark season on Sky. Circling a channel near you.
You may wish you had someone to help you keep fit. You might like free clothes for a year. Or to eat out every weekend, on the house. Every time you use your Visa debit or credit card, you could win one of many everyday prizes. You could even get free taxis for a year. For all kinds of everyday prizes, use your Visa debit or credit card by June the 1st.
With Herbal Essences shampoo, you've always been guaranteed one totally organic experience. Yes! Now, with our creamy protein-enriched conditioner, you get a second one.
Yes! Yes! Woo! Yes!
I'll be happy with just the one.
Herbal Essences conditioner for dry, damaged hair. Winner of a Cosmopolitan Beauty Award.
Now at B&Q, we've price reversed over 30 finishes of Floormaster laminate flooring. Knew you'd approve.
What if a Dyson was built around a ball? The ball, designed to move. And of course, it doesn't lose suction.
Red wine, blackcurrant juice, tea? Try the power of Vanish Oxy Action on tough stains like these. Just spray the Vanish Oxy Action onto the stain, then leave it for a few minutes to get to work. The active oxygen in the foam penetrates deep into the carpet pile, removing the stain. Let the carpet dry and look, it's completely gone. This sofa looks ruined, but watch! Vanish Oxy Action can remove tough stains like these before your eyes. Make stains like these disappear with Vanish Oxy Action for carpets and upholstery.
From free cabs for a year to free mobile calls. For everyday prizes, use your Visa debit or credit card by June the 1st.
Give your money a boost with the fantastic 5% monthly saver account from Abbey. Visit your local branch to open yours now.
You're watching Sky News. A reminder of the top stories. There are new fears for the health of the Pope tonight. The Vatican says he has a high fever caused by a urinary infection and is being treated with antibiotics. Some sections of the Italian media are reporting that he's been given the last rites, but that hasn't been confirmed by the Vatican.
Prince Charles has referred to the media as those bloody people during a photo call on his annual skiing holiday in Cloisters. He apparently didn't realise that microphones were picking up what he whispered to his two sons.
The brain-damaged American woman at the centre of a right-to-life battle has died. Terry Schiavo had received no food or water for 13 days after a court ruled that her feeding tube should not be reinserted.
Time now for a look at some of the early editions of the morning papers, and the royals are featuring yet again. The Daily Mirror devotes its entire front page to them. It reports not only on Prince Charles's outburst in front of the media, but also on the antics of Princes William and Harry behind closed doors.
The front page of the Times has a picture of the heir to the throne smiling through gritted teeth. Its caption is "The Prince, the Poison Carrot, and these bloody people." The lead article is a report on falling house prices, which have fallen to their lowest level in almost a decade.
That's also the Express's front page story. Its main images are of Prince Charles and the BBC's royal correspondent Nicholas Witchell.
The Daily Mail suggests the outburst by the heir to the throne might have been a case of the morning after the night before, with a speech bubble quoting the prince.
Bucking the trend, The Independent is one of only two papers not to feature the royals. Instead, it focuses on the damning report of the Presidential Commission into US intelligence.
While the Financial Times reports that Tony Blair will bring in new laws to tackle the pensions crisis should he win a third term in office.
Well, joining us now to review the first editions is The Independent's Michael Brown. Michael, good to see you.
Good evening,
Steve,
Michael.
Nice to see you. Now, we've only got very few hard copies
which tells us a story. I suspect that at this very moment newspapers are changing their editions to bring us up to date with the information that you've been giving on Sky News from Rome about the Pope, and that accounts for the fact that all we've got in so far at the Sky News Centre is the Independent, the Times and the Sun, but we have got the front pages of the others.
Of the first editions, and this is the first opportunity really the media have had to kind of fight back, as it were.
That's right. Now let's go first of all to the Mail. We've got the front page there. I mean, this is a headline writer's dream today. It's as much headline writer's pictures and cartoons, but the Mail's got His Royal Huffiness. I just think that when you've got such a clear story where you know if you're coming into Sky News to review the papers, you know before you get here what the papers are going to have. And if we go to the Mirror, they've got a fantastic front page, Orf is Ed, and then the Pieced Heads refers to the fact that William and Harry, the night before, had a fantastic booze up with lots of friends. But I do think, again, the headline writers deserve special commendation for their various take. But if we go now to the Sun, which I expected to carry, I mean, it is indeed a royal story. I expected it would be the Charles story, but it is in fact William a world exclusive. And what this is about is a story whereby William last night was in the bar, or in a bar somewhere in Cloisters, with the Sun's royal correspondent, and they were talking. I don't know whether William was aware that he was giving a world exclusive, but he was chatting to the Sun's royal correspondent very animatedly, covering everything under the sun, including his relationship with his companion Kate, whatever her last name is, I've forgotten.
Middleton.
Kate Middleton, that's right.
It.
Very good,
yeah.
Very good. I can see you're an avid follower of these things, Steve. And he talks about Harry. Harry's having fun. Harry is madly in love, but William is too young to wed. And so you then have to go to page. I think it's inside inside the Sun before you get the Charles story itself.
Because William, during this the photo shoot, actually came out rather well.
Very well. He is media savvy. He was actually telling the old man what to do. I mean, there's the Sun there. What a bloody grumpy old sod who has no idea how to handle the media at all.
Because Prince Charles was saying, "Oh, what shall we do now?"
Absolutely, and to be fair, I mean, the pictures that I saw on Sky News indicated that actually William's got the hang of the media. He recognises that he lives in a media age. He chatted with the Sun reporter perfectly amicably, the Sun photographer perfectly amicably, joshing and joking, and he's got the hang of the media. But Prince Charles simply is going to be a disaster when it comes to moving up the ladder. All I can say is, so far as the Queen is concerned, long may she reign. There is a wonderful cartoon in the Sun. I think we've got it on graphics. There we are. Bloody press, bloody trees, bloody snow, bloody sunshine, slippery slope is the sign. He seems more cheerful today, says William to Harry. I just think, a story like that is an absolute tabloid journalist dream.
Just before we move on, what do you make of this? Just over a week before the wedding, this surely is a PR disaster.
It is. I mean, of itself, one minor incident, I suppose, where the heir to the throne or a politician loses his cool with a journalist once in a lifetime, that's fine. But unfortunately, coming on top of the catastrophe that is this royal wedding and the general persona that Prince Charles puts forward before the public through the media, these off-guard remarks let you know what they really think about the rest of us.
Well, maybe he was just a bit stressed out. Organising a wedding, getting pulled away from his holiday to speak to pesky reporters.
The whole point, though, Angela, of this whole business is that it is a photo call whereby the media will then leave him alone. And if he can't be bothered to put a little bit of effort into answering a very simple question, are you getting ready for your wedding, Your Royal Highness? I mean, it doesn't take much to say, yes, I'm looking forward to it. Maybe he's not looking forward to it after what went on with the previous wedding. I don't know.
Other than the terribly sad story about Terry Schiavo, which will be obviously big news both here and in America, the US Commission report will be big news too.
That's right. Now, The Independent has got this report that has been sent to George Bush by a bipartisan US commission, members of both Democrats and Republicans, saying that the intelligence community was dead wrong in almost all of its judgments about Saddam Hussein's presumed chemical, biological and nuclear weapon programs. And it bleakly warns that the United States simply can't afford failures of this magnitude again. And it appears that the United States, from this Commission report, has no more clue in Iran or North Korea about what's going on inside those two countries than it ultimately had about Iraq. So this is going to be, if it wasn't for the crowding out of this serious story by so many other stories that are happening tonight, I think that you'd find this was universally the story of the night if it was on a lighter news day. But it is a very, very serious report. And I think the President apparently is going to have to completely review the whole way in which America gathers its security and goes about its intelligence gathering services.
Now it appears that Michael Flight won't be able to stand.
Howard Flight.
Howard Flight.
Now this is also in The Independent.
But there's a solution.
Well, yes. I mean, The Independent, as you know, is a very serious newspaper, and I, as a political junkie, take all news stories in The Independent about politics very, very seriously. Kitchen cabinet, Tory boosters Jamie Oliver declares for Arundel. Last night, the Naked Chef was poised to perform a stunning about-turn, having been to see Tony Blair. In a move that Michael Howe hopes will get his stalling election campaign off the ground, Oliver is to be unveiled as the Conservative Party's approved candidate for Arundel and South Down. And I thought, crikey, and then I suddenly noticed that the political editor's byline is not there. It's Guy Adams, who is our diarist, diary column editor. But then you look at the top, and I think, just remember, everything you say, see and do tomorrow...
I'm not sure our viewers will better make it out.
It is the 1st of April tomorrow, so I'm just warning everybody...
I was quite looking forward to the naked politician.
Well, there you are. I tell you, he'd probably win. I mean, if the Tories could get him as their MP for Arundel, he'd be the leader of the Tory party by the end of the week, and he'd be Prime Minister in 5 weeks' time.
We've got a little bit of time left.
Okay,
what else caught your eye?
I've got another important story for you in The Sun. This is on page 19. EU miseries to ban April Fool's jokes. Prank lawsuits crisis. Balmy Brussels bureaucrats want to ban April Fool's Day because they think it is too dangerous. Lawyers decided the ancient fun day should be struck off the calendar following a string of lawsuits taken out by victims of pranks. And then it's got the EU directive, which is very difficult to read on your graphics, but it says, in reflection of the 452% increase in compensatory claims with relation to the date of the 1st of April, member states must cease to use the term All Fool's Day or April Fool's Day, and in accordance they will not be recognised in law. Again, I draw your viewers' attention to the fact that it is the 1st of April, and I wonder whether that isn't the Sun's idea of a leg pull.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know. I think that's it looks like it could have been a pretty serious issue, though. Guy in Germany getting £140,000 for depression when a colleague booted him up the backside after a "kick me" sign was stuck on him.
Yes. Now, do you believe that? Are you taking that? You see, you've been taken in by it, haven't you?
I think she has.
It might have happened. It might have happened.
Yeah, it might have happened, but I mean, this is the problem with these wretched stories. I came in here this evening saying to myself, April 1st, April 1st, April 1st. But here's a real... have we got something?
I'm afraid we're out of time.
Fair enough.
Michael. Busy night, but great to see you as always.
Thank you
very much.
You're watching Sky News. Just a reminder of our breaking news this evening. The Vatican has confirmed that the health of the Pope has deteriorated.
He's a fever caused by a urinary infection and is being treated with antibiotics.
Crowds have started to gather outside the Vatican. We'll have more on that at the top of the hour as our coverage continues here on Sky News.
New dress, £130. Lipstick, £11.